So let us take a point here. Effect of wind and ice on sag. Okay, in transmission lines, for example, if the transmission lines are laid in hilly areas, cause the transmission line cause the transmission line conductors are affected sometimes. Okay, affected sometimes with heavy wind pressures. With what is the first point we called? Heavy wind pressures. And what is the next point? It will be suffered with ice falling. Hope you understood this point. Okay. The weight of ice acts vertically downwards. Weight of ice acts vertically downwards. Okay. So that is in the same direction as the weight of the conductor. In the same direction as weight of the conductor, as the weight of the conductor. Okay. Next, the force due to the wind acted horizontally. The force due to wind acts horizontally. Okay, understand these points. Force due to wind will be act horizontally and weight of ice vertically downwards. Now, that is at right angle to the surface of the conductor. Right angle to the surface of the conductor. Okay. Hence, the total force on the conductor, therefore, total force on the conductor is the vector sum of horizontal and vertical forces. Is the vector sum of horizontal force plus vertical force. Horizontal force will be obtained from the force due to wind. So horizontal force will be obtained from this, whereas the vertical force will be obtained due to the weight of ice. So this will be the vertical force, horizontal force. So this is the total force vectorial sum of horizontal and vertical forces. Okay. If you observe this point, okay, so let us take us take a conductor. Then next, okay. If you observe these 2 points, this is the thickness, this is the diameter. Okay, this is nothing but the ice coating. The next, okay, this figure is nothing but it is showing the effect of ice. Okay, let us take one more figure. Okay, here what we can see here is so so these are the effect of wind. So wind will be, so this will be the wind. This figure is nothing but, let us take this one as the figure 2. What does this shows the effect of wind. Okay, let us take the horizontal component and the vertical component. Thereby we get the resultant vector force. Okay, vector weight. So let us take this as the one point. Let us take one more as okay. Let us take this one as the O point. This is the horizontal component due to the wind. This is the vertical component due to the ice. Ice is always downward direction, so it is the vertical component. Now, if you find this vector addition, draw a line parallel to Wi. Okay. Draw a line parallel to Wi and draw also a line parallel to Ww. So this is a resultant value. Okay. This is the resultant addition. So this will be nothing but total wind. Here we will be seeing this not only the wind due to ice, but also the total wind. W plus W. Okay. So thereby the total addition will be Wi is equal to if you take the angle over here, this point, then Wi is equal to under root over wi is equal to under root over w plus wi whole square plus hypotenuse square plus opposite square will be the hypotenuse square. Okay. Hope you understood. This is nothing but the vector diagram. Okay. Remember this one. This is the total wind. So let me list out the different points. Here are first one. What is meant by W? W is the weight of the conductor per unit length. Weight of the conductor per unit length. So how can we represent this one? Conductor material density into volume per unit density. Sorry, that was volume per unit length. Conductor material density followed by multiplied by volume per unit length. Volume per unit length. Okay. The next will be Wi. What is meant by Wi? Weight of ice per unit length. Weight of ice per unit length. Okay, this is nothing but density of ice. Density of ice into volume per unit ice. Volume per unit length. Okay, volume per unit length. How to define this volume per unit length? Density of ice will be the same multiplied by volume of ice per unit length will be pi by 4 multiplied by d plus 2t whole square minus d square into 1. So this is the formula for volume per unit length. So if you simplify this, density of ice into if you multiply this internally, then you get pi into t, open the brackets, d plus t. Okay. The next, weight of the wind. Weight of the wind will be wind force per unit length. Wind force per unit length. Wind force per unit length will be wind pressure per unit area. Wind pressure per unit area multiplied by projected area per unit length. Projected area per unit length. Okay. So that implies wind pressure. If you want, what is the formula for this projected area? Let me write over here. Projected area will be d plus 2t minus 1. d plus 2t minus 1. Okay, I hope that is clear for you. Next, the last point will be considering the wind and ice loading on the conductor. Considering the wind and ice loading on the conductor. Okay, the first point will be the conductor sets itself in a plane. Okay, the conductor sets itself in a plane at an angle of theta to the vertical where the tan theta value is equal to weight of the wind divided by weight due to the ice. Weight due to the ice will be taken as both wind and normal. So wind due to the ice and wind due to the conductor. So then next will be another point. So let us take the second point is the sag in the conductor. The sag in the conductor. Okay, the sag in the conductor is given by sag S is equal to W2 into L square divided by 8 into T. What is this WT? WT is nothing but total wind. You remember that formula, W plus Wi whole square plus WW whole square. Okay, hope you understood. So this was the sag in the conductor. Then vertical sag will be vertical sag is due to the cos theta. So vertical sag is nothing but sag times the cos theta. To simply multiply for this sag, just cos theta, it will be vertical sag. Okay.